Welcome to Believe It or Not, an Interfaith Grand River program. I'm your host, August Edelman, and I'm joined today by Shiv Talwar of the Hindu tradition. Thanks so much for being on the show, Shiv.
Thank you very much for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you out in the world?
A little bit about myself. I'm ancient. I was born in 1937.
Okay.
And what pushed me into the interfaith business is when I was 10 years of age, India got divided into two countries, and there were lots of atrocities just because you belong to one religion or the other. So at that time, I thought, when I grow up, I'll do something about it, and that's what I'm doing.
Wow. Talk about an origin story.
So I'm a civil engineer by profession. I don't study religion at all. I never studied religion. But to solve this problem that I have of identity savagery, I had to go into the depths of religion, try to see where they are different and where they are the same. And I learned over a number of years that at the core spirituality level, all religions are the same. And that's what I studied. My first book, called The Common Ground, was essentially on that I looked at the core spirituality of all major religions. And I came to the conclusion they're no different. Although on the doctrinal level there is no similarity, but at the level of core wisdom, there's no difference. And then I also studied how that convergence of core religion, core spiritualities, different religions, how that relates with science. And I found there was a correlation there as well, without any contradictions. So that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching essentially the core wisdom of different religions, but in scientific terms.
Okay.
Because scientific terms, I can talk and I don't get anybody mad because it's a language that is understood by everybody. Yeah. But if I talk of core wisdom of religion in religious terms, then people are going to get upset. Because each religion is, at the doctrinal level, says they're unique, they're the best. And nobody else comes even close. So I don't want to talk about differences because essentially there is none.
That's interesting. So you were a young boy during partition. When did you come to Canada?
1966.
Okay. What brought you here?
Money. I needed more money than I could earn in India, so I came here.
Fair. It's a lot of people's story. So tell me, so you mentioned those commonalities. One of my questions is always about some of the main ideas within your tradition that has sort of shaped the things that you're passionate about and that you hold close to you. So
what I'm passionate about in my religion is the religious focus on attention.
Attention.
Our attention is always wandering, and we are taught in the very early age, attend to your attention. Try to learn how to focus it. And if you focus your attention on anything, you can find the secret of that, secret knowledge of that thing. So that is what I have been doing. I don't stay on the surface of anything. I go deep to the essence, and it is because I've trained my attention to focus. And when you're focused, you cut through the riffraff and go to what is of essence.
So what do you find when you're focusing on the things that are important to you? what do you find in that essence?
I see humanity. I see we are all spiritual beings, and God is spirit. The essence of God is the spirit of God, and there aren't any number of them. There are not two. We can't even say this. It's one, but there is non-duality. All human beings are human beings. Actually, every being is from the same spirit. The whole universe is an expression of that one spirit. That is the core spirituality of all religions. That's what they all talk about at the core. But people don't go to the core because at the core level, we are all the same. And people who want to keep us apart from each other, they are interested in division.
So, do you have like a community here in KW?
Yes, yeah, there is a community in KW.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, what's it like?
Well, there is a temple. There are people who get together. I don't go to the temple. I don't see the need of spiritual understanding and doing nothing but social contacts with it. So I don't have too much use for that kind of religious practice.
I see. That's fair. So what kind of community do you have around you then?
What kind of community?
Yeah, for you. Like what's important to you? What supports you?
You are important to me.
Well, thank you.
There is human community all around me.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And obviously all humans are expressions of their genes. At the genetic level, we get our traits from our genes. And the interest of the genes is survival. So if we are focused on our own survival, then that keeps us apart. So focus on survival of the self. That is essentially a gift of our genes to all human beings. That is what is keeping us apart. Because when you're focused on your survival, you don't care about what happens to me.
Right, right.
It's only when we go beyond that focus on our own survival, it may be even for 10 minutes a day, if we are in a state of mind that we are not focused on our own survival, then we are connected.
So how do people do that? How do you get beyond that base sort of survival level?
You train your attention to see what is the difference. If you're focused, you don't see any difference between one human being and the other.
Okay. So for you, what does this look like kind of in practice, like day to day?
When I get up in the morning, I sit on the couch and I breathe deep.
Okay.
That is one way of focusing your attention. If you're focused on your breath is going on all the time. At any time you can focus on the breath.
Yeah.
And you focus on the breath deepens. When the breath deepens, the attention of your mind is not then wandering. Your mind then becomes focused. And when your mind is focused, then you can see the essence. Otherwise, you only see the superficial. Your understanding is superficial. You want to go deep into your understanding. You have to learn to focus, train your attention. And my way of training my attention is through training of the breath. You know, we breathe 24/7, but it's all going on by our doing it. if we look after our own breath, make it deeper, our attention then gets focused, our mind gets calm, and with a calm mind, then you can see things clearly.
Interesting. Even as you're just saying that, I'm more aware of my breathing. I'm like, oh, I do breathe very shallowly. That's interesting.
Well, that is my
yeah.
way of, you can say, being spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a believer of God. I don't believe in a personal God with a guy that looks 80 years old with a big beard, and he'll throw you in hell if I'm a bad boy, and put me in heaven if I'm good. I have no use for that kind of religion or spirituality, whatever you may call it. And if there's a God, then there's only one, not one for Jews and one for Hindus and one for Christians and one for Islam.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one. And if we are the children of God, then we are all brothers and sisters. There's one family.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are killing each other, that goes against religion.
Right.
And that is what happened in 1947. Practically 1 million people were killed. And 15-20 million people were rendered homeless. I don't know how many women were raped and how many children were killed in the name of God the Compassionate.
Yeah.
So I'm not much for that kind of religion.
Mm-hmm.
You can call me irreligious if you want, if you like.
That sounds fair to me, describing what you witnessed and experienced. Like, what brings you comfort in your spiritual practice?
Comfort?
Comfort, yeah.
What makes me uncomfortable, I can talk about that, but
Okay.
I'm fairly comfortable with life. I have no real problems.
Oh, that's great.
And what makes me uncomfortable is kind of stupid behavior that similar to what is happening everywhere, even now.
Yeah.
It's not that it happened in 1947, and then after that, all honky-dory. It is happening all over the world.
Yeah.
We have Interfaith IGR here. Why? What's the need?
Are you asking me what I think the need is?
I'm asking you.
I think people don't know their neighbors. They feel like their neighbors are strangers. And getting over that kind of barrier of knowing, no, actually, you have a lot in common, and we can all be a community together even when we disagree. I feel like that's the...
We are a community. Not we can be a community together. We are a community together, and it's not that Interfaith Grand River has brought people together.
Mm-hmm.
We have been together all the time,
Yeah.
but yet we have been apart. And that being apart is not our nature.
Mm-hmm.
Our true nature is that we are from the same God, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
So we are the same.
And so how do you get people to understand that then?
How do I get people there?
Yeah.
Again, training their attention.
Yeah.
I teach. I have a workshop in deep breathing every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I teach things like that.
Yeah.
I don't talk of God. When you are calm and you are collected, you can see your God, and you can see that your God and my God are not two.
Mm-hmm.
If our gods are not two, then we are not two.
That's interesting.
It's how calm and collected you are inside. That calmness, that peace, that harmony shows outside.
That's beautiful. So I guess, kind of my final question for you. Is there something that you are really passionate about? You mentioned the deep breathing that you kind of want to share with the people at home.
It's all science. And that science teaches us how to be calm, how I use my brain. My brain doesn't run me, I run my brain. I can change the way the brain thinks with attention. Science these days are talking about neural plasticity.
Yeah.
Our brains are, they used to think that once the brain is formed, it is formed, and you can't change your thoughts. But now it has been shown that that's not true. The brain is plastic. With attention, you can change your own thoughts and your own feelings and emotions, and you can rearrange the neural connections of the brain so the brain starts to think differently. And all that is done through attention. You pay attention, you calm down, you're not running around like a chicken with the head cut off. That's how most people are. We are running, we cannot sit still.
Yeah.
We are running around all the time, chasing this thing or chasing that thing. And the more we chase things, the more the things run away from us. And if you sit calmly, do nothing, but breathe deep, that is one way. If you sit calmly, breathe deep, close your eyes, and meditate, that's another. And meditation takes you deeper into calm than breathing will. So there are ways of increasing the depth of your focus or the depth of your mental calm. The calmer you are, the more you can see what things are not visible to the others. It's as simple as that. And that can be taught. Scientifically, we are giving master's degrees starting next year in April in neurobiology of transformation, how you can transform yourself. How you can transcend your genes, that's essentially what it is. Your genes, you get the survival. And once you rise above it, even for a few minutes a day, you have experiences that you won't have otherwise. That is what I learned by studying my own self. You know, when you can study your own self, you pay attention. Otherwise, you only look at the faults of the others.
This has been a super interesting conversation, Shiv. Thank you.
The crux of what I have in mind, I have shared with you.
Okay.
And I don't know whether this is what you expected.
I very rarely have
this is
expectations.
what it may not fit in the IGR kind of a way of thinking. I don't know.
I think it does, because I mean, the whole purpose of these shows is to just like hear from people, hear where they are, hear what they've lived, hear about their perspective on things, and you've shared that. So, and I think, you know, for the folks who watch at home, I just hope that they go, huh, like I hadn't thought about that, or oh, that's really interesting, or oh, that's so different from what I'm used to, or maybe that really resonates with me, you know, like who knows. And I hope that that's what people get out of it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I see things very simply. It's not complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. All we have to do is learn how to sit still. Sitting still, it is the capacity that you can teach anyone. We all have a body, we all have all our bodies are made out of cells, and all cells are got genes. And if genes are going survival, 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 get up and do something, go get some money here, this, that, and the other. You calm that down, sit down still. Then you see the spirit in everything that exists.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Believe It or Not.